In Colombia, people have the perception of Russia, it's in the movies, it's dark, it's dangerous, and people don't smile. Kind of true. Now everything is very expensive because of inflation, so we need to change some things to make more money. And he started drawing flags against each other and talking about the situation. And I start talking to everybody around like, hey, 6+. Is 6? Let's try to change the topics to animals, to cartoons.
Welcome back to the channel. Today we are here with a new guest. Could you please introduce yourself?
My name is Sergio Garcia. I am from Colombia and I have been in Russia for 12 winters.
You make it sound like Game of Thrones, dude.
Oh my God.
12 winters. Winter is coming.
Surviving Russia in the winter.
Yeah, it should be like, I survived 12 winters.
Where is the sun?
Oh my goodness. Can you tell us about what you do, what your job is?
Sure. Now I am teaching martial arts to kids. In Greece, every summer I go for a month. And in Rublovka, that is a very wealthy part of Moscow, I go a couple times a week, sometimes once. And then I work, I write a lot. I write comedy, I perform stand-up comedy. Now it's not like super busy, but sometimes it gets better. In the summer it gets like less popular because people are traveling and having fun. And now in the winters are like moving again. I perform in Spanish, in English, and in Russian. I try, but my Russian is not nigatov, not ready.
You'll get there. Yeah. You'll get there soon. Okay. And before I even get into some of the deeper questions, I first want to ask you, why did you choose to move to Russia? I know that you've traveled to many different places, but why Russia specifically?
Well, life in Colombia is very fun. I have a very nice family, very big, and we have like the farm. The dachas in Colombia are amazing.
Oh, there are also dachas?
Well, it's
like a farmhouse.
A good farm with the river and animals and dolphins, and it's amazing. So I miss it so much, but living in Bogota, is the capital, is very high in the mountains, so it's cold and it rains and it's dangerous in the street if you don't know how to move. Jobs don't pay very well, and to have kids there is very difficult. People are not having kids. There's dogs and cats, and many people have families now. Like not like here. Here is much. It's adapted to kids in the parks and it's safe, and the kindergartens in Russia are amazing. In Colombia are very expensive. So life here, we try with my family to go there to Colombia, and it was fun, and we get fat because everybody was feeding us a lot of food. But here is like it's better, it's safer, and you can find jobs very easy, and education, convenient. Metro is amazing, I love the metro. Beautiful girls everywhere, so you're like inspired, nature is good.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty similar to my country because, well, you're talking about the cats and dogs being more. In my country, there are more cows than people. So like the population is like 2 million and the cows are like 3 million. So that's a funny one as well.
Colombia, we have to.
So that's the cats and the dogs. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's a reason. But can you tell me a bit more about the stand-up? How did you start doing stand-up comedy in Moscow?
Well, I came here like first week. I started working with martial arts. They offered me a job, very nice, but it's a very strict life. You need to do trainings all of the time, give classes, and because I wasn't able to speak Russian, I need to show every movement and do it and carry big bags. So I was tired all of the time. I working some years from Sunday to Sunday. I have been working in capoeira for more than 25 years. In gyms, in university schools, everywhere, like 6-7 countries. I went to the World Championship a couple of times.
Nice.
Didn't do well because the guys there are like
they're
double
jacked,
my
right?
size,
Okay, yeah.
and they train with the masters like every day, so it's very difficult. But here it was like very busy, so I didn't have any fun. I had energy to teach and to go to movies and to the park and to stay with my wife, my kid, but it was not very fun. So
I understand.
I was trying to look for people, and because of the classes with the kids, I didn't speak Russian well, so I was very tense at the beginning. So I started listening to comedy, like Russell Peters or Bill Burr or these guys that make me laugh, and I relax before the class. So I get to the class with a better mood, and I became addict to listening to comedy. There is a podcast called Kill Tony.
Yes, we talked about this before. Yeah.
And they teach how to do it. So I started like realizing I wanted to try it because I have many stories from Colombia, and every time I talk to a Russian person and I tell the stories, they're like paying attention. So it's like just put some punchlines and people laugh about if they're paying attention, it's much easier to make people laugh.
Of course.
So I start like wondering where. So I find a club of English and I try it, and it was very good because I didn't over memorize. I just tell some things and people really like it, but it was like a small basement with 25 people and everybody was super like professional in the comedy. Like the guys that were organizing it were very good. Now they live in Europe and in other parts of the world. So I went there and it was very fun, but it wasn't like super big.
Yeah.
So we start like training with them, with these guys. Still the comedy show.
I see that. That's amazing. I mean, it's funny how you get inspired by something, you turn it into reality.
Yeah.
That must have been very interesting. But when you were moving to Moscow, how were family and your friends? How did they react to that? Were they positive or negative?
Well, yeah. In Colombia, people have the perception of Russia that it's told by the United States. The influence in Colombia is very weird because like people with low incomes, they're like influenced by Mexico. So they listen to the music and the mannerisms and the way of thinking is very Mexican, like macho and having many kids and like drinking and the telenovelas are, and the comedy is inspired by Mexico.
Yeah.
The middle class is inspired by United States. So there is a lot of people, so they like try to learn English and they go to Miami and it's very that. So a lot of information come from that. And the super rich people, that is not too much, they are European. So they're descended from Germany, from Italy, from France. So they learn these languages and they can travel like very easy. So the clothes and everything and the mindset. So the culture and the information that we have in Colombia is not very like our own. It's always influenced by this European United States of Mexico. But we don't like more now with Russia Today and these channels, they have some ways of knowing what is happening here.
Yes.
But China, India, and these parts of the world are like too far away for Colombia to understand. They understand parts of it, but not like well, because people that like study really hard, like books and literature and scientists, they know about the achievements of Russia.
Yes.
But the other people is like, it's in the movies, it's dark, it's dangerous, and people don't smile. Kind of true.
So
in the summer, it's amazing, yeah.
So are they stopping you? Like, don't go? Or?
Yeah, people is like, oh, why? They don't say anything. They're like, but then when I post pictures of Russia, especially in the summer and with the people and when in the shows, people are like, wow, it's amazing. So when my family came, they're like, so beautiful and safe, and my friends came too and they talk to me now with much more respect about my decision to come here. The other people are like, why are you there? This is too dangerous, it's too far away. So But here in Russia, well, not now, but
Yes.
it was very easy to move around the world, much more than there, because you can work easy here and then go to Asia, go to Europe, go to from Colombia. It was very difficult because the payment is not very good and it's too far away. So you can go to South America or to Mexico or United States, but coming to the other parts of the world that I was very interested, or I am, of knowing, it's much easier from here, even now with the geopolitical situation.
I see. And how is it raising a family here? Is it difficult? Is it easy?
Well, it's amazing. My son is so beautiful and smart because my wife is an aerospace engineer. And,
Oh wow,
yeah,
that's amazing.
I don't know how I find always like these super clever people around me. Well, my family is very like well educated, and my brother have amazing memory and finance, and my mother is direct about. And I'm a sportsman. I think I hit my head too much when I was a kid. So I'm an artist, and I have like another cousin that is an artist, and the rest of my family are very like prolific, and they're lawyers, and everybody is very smart. And well, I find my wife; she's very smart, and then I put it's interesting, but because we're very yin yang. So she's a mathematician, and she have very nerd friends, and she doesn't like bad words and anything. She's very like this, but she laughs at my jokes. That's very important. So I'm like a wild card.
she's a
I'm
keeper,
like
so.
sports, and I like comedy and writing, and well, I like nature. So my son is like a good balance of those things. He's likes sports, but he likes mathematics, and he's learning 4 languages like we speak at home. And he's like a nerd, but a dangerous nerd, very Russian. He can read since 4 years old, and knows all of the countries in the map almost, and the flags. So we are like very happy with him because he's very funny, but he's very clever. Papa, ты знаешь, like, нет, подожди, Google. So I'm having fun with him a lot, and with my wife we understand each other very well, so we don't fight. That's very important. We need to do this, do that, and go here. You can have your fun, you can rest. So we understand each other. We have been together for 12 years or more. I don't know. And it's very nice that we are in Russia, because we like create a system, and we don't need to like change many things. It's working very well. It's like you do this, I do that, and it works very well. Now everything is very expensive because of inflation, so we need to change some things to make more money, because food is much more expensive and all of this. But and we can travel less. That's a bad thing. But
yes, the bad side. Yeah, but generally, so you would say, but it's possible. Is it extremely difficult now that the currency has, of course, taken a dip? Are things more difficult now when it comes to taking care of a family, or are you still managing?
Well, it was working much better, but now I need to find more work, like to make money, because my wife is very busy.
Yes.
So I was working at home, like cleaning and taking care of the kid in the afternoon, and then I was trying to find jobs for hours, because I need to do training every day to be able to teach. I'm 42 years old, so I need to be in very good shape.
Yeah, you need to be fit,
And I have a very good job in the summer, so I need to be ready for this. So I need to do training every day, but also cleaning and take care of my kid, and also making some money. So stand-up comedy was helping, but it's not too much, so I need to find more income. I have the job in Rublovka, but it's not too many hours, because I don't have many hours.
Yes.
So I'm like learning Russian, training, taking care of my boy, cleaning the house, and making money. And my wife is all day, like on the weekends she's very tired. So now we need to move things. It's a little bit difficult. So sacrifices of time and training, or the comedy, because everything is super expensive. The food, especially, is going like it's getting very expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say like a lot of things have become a bit worse in terms of like food and stuff, but not as bad as I thought it would be. I'm surprised that it's not worse.
Yeah,
because the currency really took a dip.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
but that must be difficult. Yeah, of course. Raising a family is a completely different ball game.
Yeah. Do you want kids?
Yeah, of course. I've always wanted not a copy of me, of course, a better version of myself would be nice, you know. So that's nice. But okay, you married a Russian woman. Is there like a difference between Colombian women and Russian women, or would you say a woman is a woman?
I am the telenovela at my house. My feelings are crazy. But my wife, she's always like very
stoic.
She always keeps control, and she's like, I need time. She doesn't speak, and then she's like, And I understand that, so I give her time, and she gives me time to be crazy. So I'm the Latin in my house, but very Latin sometimes. I try like meditation, and I go to baño and sauna, so I chill a lot now. I'm getting better, because this year was a little bit difficult. I had an injury, a hernia. So I lost some jobs and the hernia and some other problems. And then I am understanding how to be alone again, to fix myself. But my son is like the thing that I need.
Motivation.
I'm with him, we play, we talk, and we have fun. And then I don't need more people now, for now. I'm like just getting to a point that I'm like, okay, they don't like me, I don't care. I used to like them, or I don't have enemies. The only enemy that I have, it was myself. But then I understood it's not an enemy, it's just like the person I'm trying to leave behind, it was like in a bad place. But because of my family, it's very easy to become like a cool guy. I have been a cool guy many times. It's just like finding a path, a way.
Yeah, I mean, I guess kids can motivate you. They can make you do different things. I mean, I've always wanted to have my own child, and I think generally when you have somebody that is basically a reflection of you, that is your child, you are more motivated to do things.
And you can teach him how to talk, how to behave, how to be funny, how to do sport. So it's like he's all of the time in the telephone. Well, don't give him the telephone. Let's go to the park, do exercise, let's watch some interesting stuff in the TV together. It's like just spend time like in the present. People are sometimes far away in the future or the past, but the things that have really value is to be in the present with the kid, with your child wants to play. Like, pay attention, I'm doing this.
Yes.
So pay attention, and you're like, we need to do this and this and this and this. No, you need to be there, and that's very valuable. You cannot pay for that. You need to find a professional that it's very expensive to do that. One person to take care of your kid with this energy is super difficult to find.
I see. And raising a family during the special military operation, how was that for you?
Well, you need to. I am a Russian citizen right now. Like, I have Vidnagist. I'm not able to talk in English or Russian. But I have my citizenship, and because of that, I'm like worried about it a lot. But I'm 42 years old, so it's not like
I'm not in the range anymore. So
I am if they need me, and I make up my mind. If I need to go, I need to go. That's life. That's living in Colombia. Every day you go to the street, and it's super dangerous.
It's a different ball
sometimes. If you are not careful, if you are drinking in a bar, they can put something in your drink. In Colombia, you need to be very careful. So it's dangerous. So I live here many years now, and it was very safe.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I need to be ready if something like goes super wrong for everybody. So I have that in my mind. So my kid, because of external information, he was like thinking about it too much. And he started drawing flags against each other and talking about the situation. And I start talking to everybody around like, hey, 6+. He's 6. Let's try to change the topics to animals, to cartoons, to something less dramatic, less intense. Because he's a kid, he needs to be relaxed. It's not good for him to be like us.
Yeah, I mean,
that's our job as parents, be like this. So I try not to, if there is something in the TV, I change it, and he have questions. I say later, when you're 12, 15, you can understand much better with the internet, and don't worry about that. That's adult stuff. That's for adults. Nobody in the world have a problem with you because you're a kid.
Yes.
So you can go to any country and they will take care of you and help you because you're a very good person. And you're a good kid. And he's like not having nightmares. When everything started, everybody was like in the COVID, and then this situation, like it was too much. So he starts having nightmares and like doing something with the teeth at night.
Oh, yeah, like gnashing his teeth.
Yeah. So I understood he was like very stressed. And my job is to calm him down. So he started doing swimming. He started swimming, and I start training him every day, like doing rastiashka, stretching, and martial arts. I teach him too. So it's easy if you understand that kids have nothing to do with it.
Yes.
You just need to protect them and like put a shield over their head.
Exactly.
Like, it's not hiding the reality, but show them just what is useful for them. Like we can talk and become friends with anybody. And I went to Hungary once with one of my students, Nikita. It's a very funny story because he was very tense. It's like, oh, we are surrounded by the enemies, like Hungarians and Germans. And in his mind, his perception was that. So he's a musician, so I say, shut up, go and play your guitar there and sing, whatever. 30 minutes, he was best friend with everybody. Two Russians and Europeans and some guys from Brazil. And I say, you see, this is your energy. You don't be that, and people will appreciate you, and that's it. Like with music, with arts, with martial arts, whatever, you can create a good vibe that people likes everywhere. So I travel the world everywhere, and sometimes it's like that in Greece. In the summer when we teach, European old people are like, where are you from? Like, but then they start see that we are together with people from Europe, from other parts of the country, from the other country, like we are together training and doing exercise, and they're like, yes,
I guess
no problem. You can be there and we can be here, and it's inspiration, and we have fun together. That's it.
I see. And when it started, because I also had this situation when my wife was basically viewing everything in social media and how people were speaking ill of Russia and stuff like that. How did that affect your family? Was there like a sense of worry, or I know you said your son was feeling uncomfortable. How did your wife feel about this situation?
Well, the family of my wife, Elena, they're military.
Okay.
In some part, and the other part was like an aristocrat from that time of the Tsars.
Nice.
So they have castles and everything, and then everything happens, and they took their wealth away from Ekaterinburg. So it's very weird to see the family, because there's very fancy part of the family. They're very like Europeans. And the other part, my father-in-law, he's very Russian, so he's like, oh, Banya, let's go and fishing, and and he's very like funny, and he doesn't retain like aggression. He's very positive, but he was very Russian from the Soviet Union. He never went out of the country. So when we came to live here, we took him to Colombia, and his mind like opened, and then he went to Maldives and to other places, and now he's like another person. He's much more like compatible with me, because at the beginning I was like, oh my god, he's driving me crazy. He was like a military, like you're a soldier and I'm the general. I'm like, nope. So now it's much better, and that's it. Our family here is very small. It's like the parents of my wife live near, and they help a lot with our kid. And we go like every weekend. Sometimes I can't because I'm working, but it's very like it's okay. Like we try not to cross like paths with heavy ideas.
You just don't really focus on it. You try to separate yourself. I see. But now your son is basically Colombian and Russian.
Yeah.
How do you maintain the cultural aspect? Because I guess he's in Russia, and how does he keep your half? How do you manage that?
Well, I am not like super Colombian, like you see like many Colombians here in Russia. It's like, let's go dancing and the parties and they get together. I'm a global mind. I live in Brazil, in the United States, in Greece, so I am not like related to one culture. I love Brazilian culture because of capoeira, and in the United States I have the stand-up comedy. I love the stand-up comedy from the United States because it's like I listen to the podcast every day, so I know how they think and why, and they criticize everything from comedy, the world. So I am not very like typical Colombian. So I just teach him Spanish when he wants. We play to learn Spanish, to learn English. I talk him about the animals of Colombia. Look, this is a pink dolphin, and he's like, pink capybara. He loves capybara, so he went to Colombia and he loved our family and the nature. When we arrived, it's like, everything is green. It's amazing. But we are not like celebrating. I'm not very religious. I like so the information I have from Colombia is like, it's very cool. We can go and the family and animals and fishing and look at this, and this is in Colombia. So he know where he really likes it. He want to go, but for vacations.
I see. Yeah. I mean, like I think I'm pretty much the same. I have the aspects of where I'm from. So I think that's what you can give to other people, but I can't say that I'm truly traditional. It's very difficult nowadays to find a truly traditional person from a specific country because we're very exposed. We have TV, we have different types of news. And
that's why we are here, because
exactly.
we're here. In love with everything in Colombia or in Africa.
You know, so we find things that we like, we find things that we don't, and I think that's how we end up in different corners of the world. Right? So that's also a thing. Okay. So yes, also living in Moscow. Well, were you in Moscow first? Or did you come from another city from the beginning?
Yeah, I live in Krasnogorsk.
I know the football team.
It's not far away now because of metro, and they fix everything.
Transport is incredible.
1 hour to the center. That is convenient, but it's far away. In the past, I need to take buses and wait on the street -30. So I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. We wanted to move to Moscow, but now the transport is amazing, and they fixed our parks, and we have much more shopping malls. So it's very convenient,
That's
and
nice.
it's surrounded by nature. Yeah, so we have very nice parks, very huge parks and lakes and the river. I really like it, but of course, if I could live like near Park Gork or something in a penthouse,
that would be perfect for everyone. Yeah. All of us want to live in a penthouse. But what are some of the difficulties that you have as a foreigner living in Russia? Are there any things that you would say, oh, this is hard for me? Because I'm sure, as everyone,
Yeah, I give you an example. I was thinking about it yesterday. I go to the baña, to the sauna, and hammam every week, like a couple of times sometimes, especially in the winter. And I go there to do meditation, to relax after training. And there is always a big guy, Russian, Chubak. Chubak is like a dude if you don't speak Russian. And they're like huge, and they're with friends or with a girl, and they all talk the same thing in the same variation of tone all of the time. So you're like, we have apartment, and we have I want to buy the car, and we go to Sochi, and the kvartira, hipoteca, machina, and they start speaking the same thing, but with different prices every time. So I'm trying to think about jokes or something, and they're, kvartira, machina, so they're planning. We need to do this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and we bought this, and I bought this, and the iPhone, and so sometimes for me it's not interesting at all because I have another path, and I don't want to work something I don't like to buy things that I really don't need.
Yes.
I don't care about that life. I care about doing capoeira, have movements, and I was in many groups. Now I don't like groups because people ruin everything. Like
there's always that one guy.
I was that guy too, but I'm trying to learn how not to do that. So they're like, no rules, and you cannot say this and do this, and you need to do this, and you're black belt. If you want to go to this, you need to. So now I'm trying to understand that not everybody have the same path.
Yes.
The same way. So I'm finding myself again by not talking to anybody, just you this week. So,
I feel honored.
So that's difficult in Russia. Sometimes I don't like people like to have communication, but I really like that they're respectful. They say we're going to do this, they do it.
Yes.
They pay you when they need to pay you. Everything is clean. Nobody steal from your pockets. Nobody kill you. In Moscow, it's very safe. It's very clean. So it's a different life. It's not very sociable for now because I'm not like in this mood. But it can be. But with the Latins, especially, we get together and we have fun. But it's like I don't need this right now. I already did it in Colombia. It's much better. The parties, the people are like dancing better. The food is better. So I had my fun. Now I want to like focus on improving and relaxing.
Exactly.
It's like it's very good place to relax if you know how to. In Russia,
we know how to.
Yeah, near to my house there is a sauna, so I go to sauna. I watch movies. I sleep. I have my family, and that's it. Relax.
Yeah, that's all you need. That's all you need. But you mentioned something interesting about the food. I know that Colombia is known for some of the best food in the world.
It's amazing.
How do you compare it to Russia? Were you uncomfortable? Were there foods that you didn't like? Did you adapt easily?
Well, in Bogota, the capital of Colombia, it's a mountain, almost in the center. So you have two oceans, Atlantic and Pacific.
Yes.
Amazon jungle in the south. Here is like a savanna from Africa. It's very dry and plain.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in the north there is desert. So the mountain is very high. So we have all of the tastes.
Oh, wow.
Of the taste we can find very close together because it's not very huge country. So in Bogota there is a lot of products fresh from the ocean, meat, fruits, and it gets to the restaurants and it's very fresh and very delicious. So you can find international food from sushi to ceviche from Peru, for everything. And the quality and the size of the food, they serve you something like this.
Oh wow, so the portion is huge.
Yeah,
and it's cheap?
You can find everything.
Okay.
Very cheap and very expensive, but it's amazing.
So it depends.
So here you can find good food, but you need to pay.
You have to fork out more cash, I understand. So I have two more questions for you. The first one I wanted to ask you is, okay, of course, the weather in Moscow is a lot different from anywhere in Colombia, I would assume. Did you adapt pretty quickly? How do you feel about the weather in Moscow?
Well, it's not a problem for me when it's cold because of clothes and the heating system. It's much better than the houses in Bogota. In Bogota, the houses are very cold because the windows are very big, and the weather is cold, and we don't have a heating system. So here, actually, the houses are much more warm than there. But when you have 3 weeks without sun, that's amazingly hard for me because I am Latin, and I had this situation. I drink too much coffee in the winter, too much.
It's the same situation. It's weird for me, but yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. And now I go to the gym, and a couple of times a week I get to the sun tanning, the solarium. It's a machine with UV rays. It's not good for your skin, but I do just 1 minute with sunscreen. So I have much more vitamin D, and I get like a layer of protection when I go to Greece, because I'm very white Latin, and it's not very convenient to not have any sun for 6 months and then go for 1 month all day.
Yeah, you get burnt so easily.
So now I'm like training my skin to be like yours.
Yeah, I'm protected by a lot of melanin.
I need a little bit. I got
a little bit of tan. Yeah, it's funny because every time. It's also funny for me because every time I go home, I'm naturally dark, but when I'm in Africa, I actually get darker.
Yeah.
So I come here and my wife is like,
I learned that in Brazil. I didn't know. So I went to Salvador Bahia and I asked my Brazilian friends, and I, do you need sunscreen? And they're like, wow. They're like, we can, and we don't get darker.
Yeah.
So they told me if they put sunscreen, they don't get super dark.
Yeah.
And if they get like super dark. I'm like, oh my God. Okay.
So it's like it's a funny dynamic, but yes. All right, the last question, and I also ask you another question because I ask everybody at the end of the interview. But the last question I had for you is, what is your goal? You know, you've been here for 12 years. You have experienced the culture. You know the people. You have a family here.
Yeah.
Is there like something that you would love to achieve in Russia?
Of course. Yeah. The Kabartira machina. Of course. Here's a good place to evolve. So I almost had it like a couple of times with capoeira. I have like a big success. I had students. I had my incomes it was good. I traveled. I was in the news a couple of times.
Yeah, you were an RT. Yeah.
And in comedy too, it was like I was almost becoming famous and people and traveling and everything. So I think here is a good place to do that. It's not fame, it's just that people appreciate your work. You have an effort, so you make a very hard effort that people don't see. They don't see you like all of the day in the gym or training or learning or writing jokes every day, because people like just results sometimes. Like
they just see the result. They don't see like, what happens in between.
So when you show results, people start like saying, you're a good person, you're funny, you're nice, you're a good parent. If you don't show results, especially in Russia, sometimes it's like you are invisible. So that's what I want to do. I like to keep doing what I'm doing when I'm like this, like chill, and I'm happy with my son, with my exercise, with my family, with my wife. I'm happy to be like this chill. But then there is another level when you are surrounded by people and people want something from you or want to give you things. You can offer things. I can teach your kids how to be healthier, how to be like smile more, how to be like funnier. I teach also stand-up in Greece to the kids, and they really like it. And it's not easy because it's super rich people, and they are very like they need perfection sometimes.
Because they're paying, of course.
So what I want to do is like to teach what I can do when I'm like doing it all right, and to keep evolving to be like a very good parent for my kid and buy a lot of things too. Of course, everybody wants to buy later like your dream house and go to the places around the world that we are trying to. We have a big map at home, and with my son we put like naklejki stickers on the places we have been.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and we have been in many places, so it's going very well. That's a richness for me, like the spiritual richness, like travel the world and be surrounded by good people. And if people don't like you, don't be around these people. It's very simple. You don't need to be all of the time with appreciation or validation from people that don't know your way of doing stuff. If you are a good person, you keep like trying and trying and trying, you're doing it right. Only you know that, and maybe the people that are very close to you. That's why you need to keep like trying to do the stuff your way, but do it right. Not for you, just for you, but for many people.
Yeah.
So Russia is a good place to be because people are very respectful. They respect my way. Many.
Yeah, I like that because generally, even Moscow, it's big. People are not really concerned about changing you.
Yeah.
You have your own thing, do your own thing. There's also respect. We respect you, I respect you. That's it. That's comfortable.
Yeah.
That is very comfortable.
You just need to like adapt to the culture.
Yes.
It's very important.
Of course.
If you are trying to do your stuff like you did it in Colombia, no.
That won't work. That won't work. Last one that I ask everybody. I think if you have been watching the channel for a while, I ask this question at the end of all of my interviews. If somebody from your country were to ask you, Sergio, should I go to Russia? Should I move to Russia? What advice would you give them?
Well, like somebody told me recently, I want to go to Bali this next year, and he told me you need to come here because you can see in pictures is perfect paradise, but there is also like problems and difficulties. So if you want to come here to live, you should come here first to visit. Not in the best time of the year because it's beautiful and the parks and the metro. You come to Moscow Center and you go around and everything's perfect. If you have one job, so you will be like, this is paradise. But you need to like experience the winter and being alone. If you come here like with friends and with a girlfriend, so you will have a wonderful time.
Yes.
But if you're alone here and nobody talks to you and you don't speak Russian well, so you will be like, wow, this is very difficult. But there is always podcasts, internet, books.
Exactly.
So it's very good place to work on yourself, I think. Yeah. Especially the winter. The winter that's good for you. You do the training, you read books, you think.
Yeah.
And in the summer, spring, you do your plans. Yeah, something
There
like
you
that.
go.
So it's a good place if you are focused.
Yeah. Or the interviewees that I've had on the channel, I've also said the same thing. Come and visit for yourself. See if you like it, because of course we can tell you, oh, come here. And then you come here and be like, Andy and Sergio told us to come here, but I hate it here. So it all depends on you. Different perspectives, how you feel about things. But as always, it's so nice to have interesting people on the channel. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for using your time on a weekend to come and sit down. He doesn't really give interviews as much nowadays, and he he has blessed us with his presence. So as always, thank you for watching, and you know what I say at the end of any video that I make. As always, we are roaring truths to preserve your pretty voice. Ciao.